Hi, I'm Dr. Marc Reynolds, and I'm a voice teacher, performance coach, and stage director. Today, I'm going to be reacting to and analyzing Dimash's performance of Confessa and Diva dance. To those of you who like to see the video all the way through, that's my ideal too. I hope to be able to do that for you. But if you're watching and it's broken up, it's because I had to, not because I wanted to. With this week's videos, I'm going to try something different. I'm going to give a question of the day, and I'm going to give you one point that really stuck out to me that has to do with what they're doing vocally. One point that stood out to me regarding to their performance. The question of the day is, how do we tell if a artistic choice adds to the performance or distracts from the performance? Please comment down below. I'd love to hear what you have to say. Here we go.
Lại trái choáng把我的爱，来吧，不把我给我个痛快，来吧，有遗憾就遗憾，来吧，亲手把往常都散发，就算等过后都会散呀，就算这风一吹都要散呀，我是少忘的一点回呀，别假装后悔。Ma perché tu sei un'altra donna? Ma perché tu non sei più tu? Che mai fate del nostro bene ed è diventato un freddo brivido le risate le nostre cene, scendo ormai irrecuperabili. Io non sono più il tuo pensiero, non sono più il tuo amore vero, sono il dolce confondo amaro che non mangi più. Ma perché tu sei un'altra donna? Ma perché tu non sei più tu? Ma perché non ha detto prima chi non ama non sarà amato mai. Quando viene la sera e il ricordo pian piano scompare, le tue sveste nel cuore a pianotro più grande del mare, più grande del mare.
The fan version of me says, this is awesome. I love the spectacle behind it. I love the really rich, full low notes. I love the high notes as always. I love the technicality of it. We're hearing the staccato notes at the end, and we're hearing some of the expected variety in textures and colors. Lots of cool stuff. I love the added visual element of the dancer, which we'll get to more in a second. I really thought that there was a lot to really love in this performance and a lot of really great stuff going on. If I put on the teacher hat, there's two things that I think are worth talking about here. One thing we want to talk about from a vocal side is how to get beefier low notes. Here he's got some really nice, full, rich low notes. What if you do have a voice that's higher, or you want to at least get your lower notes to be beefier, but to stay in balance and stay relatively easy? One exercise that I think is really helpful is to use vocal fry as a way to get those vocal folds vibrating at their most relaxed state. So try it with me. It's just the You'll notice as I did that, I was able to kind of relax into it, let this jaw relax, let that space in the back open up a little bit more, and that helped get that vocal fry even easier and more resonant. Then what I want to do is slowly ease in from that vocal fry into making a sound. And do it slowly and try to get that so it's nice and easy on a very low pitch. What that's going to do is it's going to help us from the tendency that we get into when we get into those lower notes to slow down that airflow, or to kind of press into it, or to shut down and collapse. It just keeps those vocal folds moving nice and healthily in a low space, so we aren't introducing tension that's not needed there. This is a great example. The other thing that's going to help there with the lower notes is not just having that bright ass space or the 80% of a yawn with a smile in back, but adding a little bit of height to it in the back as well. That's going to add some more richness to it. Some other exercises you can do would just to think of Santa Claus and almost a yo, 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 and speaking on pitch, seeing if you can get that nice, warm, rich lower sound. That's going to help with that, keeping that richness and fullness down low. There are things to be aware of as we move up and transition into higher notes that are going to make sure that we keep it easy and balanced and not pushed. Second thing we want to talk about is what's going on performance-wise. Here, I think it's really fun to see the difference between performance as dance and performance in terms of connecting music and drama in a more organic, natural way. Not to say that dance can't look organic and natural, but there is something to being able to see a dancer versus someone who's more like music theater or opera, where it's not dance oriented, and it's, or like a Disney movie where you're watching it and you're supposed to kind of forget that they're singing and there's music going along, and it just seems like music is a natural part of their world. Here with Dimash, we kind of see both. First, we see him interacting in a really kind of naturalistic way.
Io non sono più il tuo pensiero, non sono più il tuo amore vero.
In this first song, and then when we get to the Diva dance, at the very beginning we see some real dance-like elements. There are a few things that help us to identify the difference there. One that helps it feel naturalistic that we've talked about before is moving those eyes on the last note or syllable. The second is that his feet, his arms, his body aren't moving in time with the beat or the pulse. They're moving in time with the melody, with the emotion, but not to the beat. what lets us know that they are no longer in this kind of naturalistic form of expression, but going to a dance form of expression, is that their movements are timed to the beat and the pulse of the music. That you can see in the dancer, and then that you can see in Dimash in the second part of this video when he starts singing Diva dance.
Che non mangi più, ma perché tu sei un'altra donna, ma perché tu non sei più tu.
There's a whole lot of other things that I'd love to talk with you about this video. We'll leave it at there. Feel free to comment. I'd love to continue the conversation in the comments down below. If there's anything in particular you would like me to react to in future Dimash videos, comment down below on that as well. For those of you who are big Dimash fans, I'm trying to do Dimash every Monday for the next little while and try to explore what he's doing across all the different pieces that we have to view online. Little side note, for those of you who are wondering why I'm not doing certain songs, for example, the Dimash and Super Vocal Boys compilation tribute to Queen, that video has been taken down, it's been blocked, and so reacting to it is consequently not going to work very well. Back to the question of the day, what is it that makes some element of a performance good? Or in other words, makes it so it contributes to the overall effect of the performance? And what makes it so that it detracts or takes away from the performance? There are a few things that I can identify, and there are even more that we could talk about in more detail. One is, does what's happening contribute or add more information to the story that's being told? Or is it just there in terms of busyness and visual aesthetic? That can add to it, but usually that becomes a distraction. Sometimes the distractions are purposeful. Sometimes the actor or the performer really doesn't need to be the center of attention. We'd rather have it on a dancer or an aerial artist or something like that. And that's a great way to detract from a singer that you purposely don't want people looking at. But in general, we want the focus to be on one place at a time in a performance. If there are too many places to look all at once, the audience becomes confused and starts feeling busy and chaotic. Sometimes that can be the purpose, is to make the audience feel that way, but in general, we're wanting to give them one place to look at a time. So is this element of the performance adding to that center of focus, adding to what that center of focus is trying to communicate and the story they're trying to tell? Or is it drawing attention away from that, both visually and with what we're hearing? In this case, it's really interesting because we have this dancer. She's in white. And theoretically, that white, hot color of a full costume against his darker colors is going to pull attention away. Because he's singing, and because the lights are spotted on him, and because we can tell that she is not the center of attention, he's standing in the center of the stage for the most part, and is the primary focal point both in the video, and I think when we pull back away from that in the live performance as well, it's not so much a problem. In fact, she adds visual interest, and in a way that adds and gives us more information to what's going on with this story. She's also doing it in a way that's not competing with Dimash. She's doing it in a way where her dance element is supporting what he's doing in a naturalistic kind of way. It makes it so she's an abstract expression of his very naturalistic form of expression. So to me, I think they work gorgeously together. I love putting these two elements together in the same performance. I think in this instance, it serves him very well. It heightens the quality of the performance. If you have other questions or comments, please comment down below. I'd love to hear what you have to say. If you want a voice lesson, a vocal coaching, a performance coaching, or need someone to talk through your ideas with, book a time with me at mrperformingartstudio.com. I'd love to work with you online.